Hi and welcome to Love Doing Yoga on this Friday evening. Hope you had a lovely week and looking forward to this practice, which is all about bringing positive energy to ourselves. So as always throughout the practice, listen to your body. Only do what feels right for you today and don't over push it. You can take yourself to the edge, but don't push yourself over the edge. And above all, enjoy it. Just a quick note to our patrons to just let you know that there is an app on Patreon that you can download onto your smartphone, and then you get all the practices delivered directly to your smartphone. So you might want to check that out or drop me a message if you're not quite sure how to do it, and we'll help you. So, without further ado, let us lie down and begin. So, finding yourself a comfortable position on the mat and just starting to move into the moment, setting aside everything that's going on in your life thus far. And allowing yourself to give over this next hour to connecting your mind with your body through your breath. Giving yourself permission to slow down, to let go of the busyness and just let everything come to stillness. And let's think about bringing stillness into our bodies, bringing stillness to our feet, bringing stillness to your lower legs and to your upper legs. Just observing that stillness in your whole legs. Bringing stillness to our arms, from your fingertips all the way up through your forearms and elbows, right up through your upper arms and armpits. Absolute stillness. And bringing stillness to our whole pelvic area, hips, glutes. Absolute stillness. And bringing stillness to our whole torso, your shoulder blades, your spine, your rib cage, your chest. And bringing stillness to the back of your head, to the crown of your head, to that point between your eyebrows, and allowing that stillness to move inward to the mind. And in that stillness, begin to observe your breath, the only thing that's moving is your breath as you inhale through your nose into your belly and exhale through your nose. And with the rest of your body in total stillness, just allowing your breath to breathe you and to move like a piston up and down from your chest to your belly, to your chest, to your belly. A nice, even, rhythmic flow of breath. And taking 3 more breaths here like this. And then bending the knees, if your legs are flat out, bringing your feet onto the earth and rolling over onto your side and making your way up to sit. If you've got a block, now's a good time to grab it, or a book, and just sit on the edge. If you don't have a block, that's no problem at all. But they're really useful because they just help to lift the hips up and therefore to open them out a little bit. And sitting here, making yourself nice and comfortable. We're going to be here for a few minutes. Just allowing your seat bones to come to the edge of the block. Sitting up tall, almost like you're growing up out of the block, up through the spine to the crown of the head. Nice and long, bringing space into the spine. And let's just turn the head to the left. And thinking about keeping your chin on a level plane, parallel with the floor, let's turn it back to the center and turn it to the right. So being very aware of your chin remaining parallel with the floor, just allowing the head to move from left to right through center. And coming back to the center, let's just allow the head to dip down so the chin comes towards the chest, and then drawing an arc with the nose, raising the gaze up, and once again drawing that arc with the nose to bring your chin into your chest, and bringing it all the way up, and one more time bringing it down to the chest and back to the center. And now just letting your head, your ear fall over towards your shoulder. So your left ear to your left shoulder. And then let your head just roll around so your right ear is to your right shoulder. And it's up to you now if you'd like to continue that roll around the front from side to side, or whether you'd like to continue it in a full circle all the way around, each time your ear coming towards your shoulder, not your shoulder towards your ear, which I can feel mine doing, so your ear going towards the shoulder. So you're getting a nice stretch into your neck here. And next time your ear is to your right shoulder, just lift up your right arm and bring it over to hold on to your left ear. Very gently, so we're not pulling here, we're just holding. And you can stay like this, or if you'd like a slightly stronger stretch in your neck, let your left hand come out and keeping the arm low, let the palm of your hand turn outwards as though you're pressing against a wall. Feeling that nice stretch in the neck there. Let's take a breath here. And bringing the head back to center. Let's just take that over to the other side. And again, if it feels right, let the right hand come out quite low, but as though you're pushing against a wall. Good. And coming back to center. And just rolling the shoulders up to the ears, pushing them back and dropping them down. And again, up to the ears, back and down. One more time, up to the ears, back and down. Good. Let's continue that work with the shoulders, but do it standing up. So coming on to all fours and then making your way up to standing. And checking in with the feet here, that they're in a nice straight line. Equal weight right across the feet, just pressing into the mat with your big toe on both feet. And taking the right arm up, bringing it across and just hooking the left arm on it. Sorry, I'm blocking the mic. And that's it, just giving a gentle stretch to the shoulder. Taking 2 more breaths here. Good, and switching it over to the other side. Breathing into any area that feels tight or tension. Good, one more breath here. And letting the arms come down, bringing the hands onto the shoulders. Let's draw big circles with those elbows. Really big and round. So you're really getting movement into the shoulders, loosening them out. And whatever direction you're going in, just bringing it around the other way. Good, and coming to stillness. And from here, we're going to take a little turn. Let me show you. We're going to just bring your right arm around in front of your waist, left arm around the other side. So if you can almost grab your elbows on either side and turning your gaze so that your upper torso is turning. Good, feet still facing towards the front. Let's take 2 breaths here. And coming back to center, swapping the arms over and taking a turn in the other direction. Two more breaths here. And back to center, bringing that left hand onto the hip, raising the right arm up as we just come over into a nice bend towards the left. Really beginning to feel openness in the chest now, breathing into that right lung. Keeping a gap here between the lower rib and the hip, So we're not collapsing into this. We're keeping that core engaged and remembering as you exhale, lift that pelvic floor, bring the belly button in and up. Good. Let's take that over to the other side. And on that inhale, finding length. On that exhale, see, can you get a little deeper? And coming all the way up. Good. From here, stepping the left foot just a little bit forward, bringing the right arm out so it's almost in a straight line from that left foot. With your right hand, we're going to draw it back. So this is like we've got a bow and arrow, which is exactly what the pose is called. You're going to try and bring that right arm up to your armpit if you can, and let's make fists with both hands. And as we inhale, you're going to just bring tension and tightness into both arms. And relax it on the exhale. And let's try that again. Inhale. Squeezing those fists, opening that so we're about to shoot our arrow off. And relax it on the exhale. And again, inhale. Good. Let's bring that over to the other side. So this is really good for just loosening out the back of your shoulders, just around here, just to take tension out, especially if you've been sitting at a desk all week, crouched over your computer. It's really nice to just stretch it out like this. So again, having that right foot slightly to the front, right arm over it, getting our bow and arrow ready, squeeze those fists, engage the arms, and exhale, relax. And inhale, bringing in tension. And exhale, relax it. One more time. Inhale, bringing in tension. Squeezing those fists. And exhale, letting it relax. Good. Coming back to stand with your feet hip distance apart. And just let's take a little bit of a swing. Just to loosen it all out. Good. And coming to stillness, let's make our way up to the top of the mat. And let's run through a couple of sun salutes just to warm ourselves up. Those of you who are familiar with sun salutes, go with your own style, go with your own pace. If you want to go along with me, please do. Let's start off though, checking in with the feet. Let's try and really keep our alignment right here. So checking in, the feet in a nice straight line, equal weight on both feet, up nice and tall, opening the chest, keeping ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. And raising the arms up. Let's sweep down into a forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to in your forward fold. And halfway lift, keeping the gaze on the mat in front of you. And forward fold. Let's step that right leg back, dropping the knee, open the foot into your low lunge. And lifting the gaze. Hands down either side of the foot, open those fingers out nice and wide, and step back into your plank, keeping those shoulders over the wrists, little gentle bend in the elbow. And from here, making your way down through knees, feet, elbows in, as we bring our chest down and roll through into a cobra, keeping that gaze on the mat in front of you, pushing up through tabletop into your first dog. So you haven't really had a chance to warm up your legs yet. We've been doing everything up at the top of the body and not an awful lot at the bottom of the body. So let's, from here, keep those knees bent and just pedal out those feet.
Just working your way into a position in your dog that feels right for you today, pushing your hips back towards the back of the mat. So you've got a nice long spine, letting that gaze go towards your belly button. Have your knees as bent as they need to be. And from here, whatever way works for you, let's get that right foot up to the top of the mat. So we can do it through tabletop. Let's step that right foot up. Open out the left foot.
And rise up into a low lunge, keeping the shoulders soft.
And hands down either side of the foot. Step that left foot up to meet the right.
Bend the knees, coming all the way up. Good. Let's take that to the other side. Arms up, sweeping down, forward fold.
And halfway lift, nice long spine. And forward fold. Let's step that left leg back
into our low lunge.
And hands down, either side of the foot, stepping back into your plank. And coming down through knees, feet, elbows in, chest down, roll through your cobra. And pushing up through tabletop, adjust yourself as you move into your downward dog. Again, finding your downward dog that works for you. And getting that left foot up to the top of the mat by whatever means. So if you want, you can just bring it to a point on the mat that works for you, and then just lift it the rest of the way. Dropping that back knee, open out the foot.
Rise up into your low lunge.
And hands down either side of the foot, stepping that left foot up to meet the right. Bend the knees.
And come all the way up. Good. Let's take that again on each side.
Hands up, sweeping down, forward fold. And halfway lift. And forward fold, right leg goes back. Open out the foot.
Into your low lunge. Shoulders soft.
And hands down. Either side of the foot, stepping back into your plank. Choice here, coming down through knees, feet, chest, and rolling into cobra. Or if you prefer, you can lower yourself down, keeping those elbows in as you lower yourself down.
And then push up into an upward dog. Wherever you are,
coming back to meet in your downward dog. Good. Let's get that right leg up to the top of the mat, whatever way works for you.
And opening out that left foot into your low lunge.
Hands down either side of the foot, stepping that left foot up.
Bend the knees, coming all the way up. Good stuff. One more time.
Sweeping down into your forward fold. And halfway lift. And forward fold, left leg back.
Low lunge.
Moving into your plank. And coming down through knees, feet, chest, rolling through cobra, and pushing up through tabletop into your downward dog. Getting that left foot up to the top of the mat.
And rising up into your low lunge.
Hands down either side. Stepping that right foot up to meet the left. Bend the knees to come all the way up. Good. Well done. Hopefully you're nice and warm now. Feeling good. From here, let's just take it out to the long side of the mat and allow your feet to point sort of like they're pointing towards the two corners of the mat. So they're not all the way out, but they're also not straight in front. They're just pointing out a little bit. And your legs are about two hips apart. 2 hip widths apart, maybe that would be the term. From here, we're going to sit down into a squat. So bending the knees, letting those knees track out over the ankles and allowing the hips to move down. Good. And from here, raising the arms up. So we want to try and keep the elbow in line with the armpit. And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. And remembering, as you exhale, lift the pelvic floor, bring the belly button in and up. So we bring a bit of core engagement in here, which will just help us with this pose. Good. One more breath. And straightening the legs, bringing the arms out so they're pointing outwards. Soften the shoulders. And let's just check in with yourself. What are you doing well here? Are your feet level on the floor? Have you got equal weight in both feet? Good. Give yourselves a little tick for that. Are your legs straight, but with a little micro bend at the knees? Can you give yourself a little tick for that? Great. Are your hips fairly level? Good. Are your shoulders over your hips? Give yourself another tick. Are your arms feeling a little tired now? Good. Give yourself another tick. Are your shoulders nice and soft? Fantastic. And looking straight ahead. Tell yourself you're doing well. Good. And from here, let's bend those knees once again as we come down into the squat. And let's bring these arms down so we can clasp our hands together here. And remembering, as we exhale, just lift that pelvic floor, bring the belly button in and up. Good. And keeping the legs in the same position, let's just bring the arms up in front of us. And raise them up over the head. Opening them up. Let them come behind us so our chest really opens. Let them come to the front. Bending the elbows, draw them together so they come all the way together. You're zipping them up from the elbows all the way up to the fingertips. And let it come down. Let's try that again. So clasping the fingers, bringing the arms up, raising it all the way up, opening them out and bringing them back so the chest is open. And then bringing them around to the front, zipping them up, elbows up, and let them come down. Good. Let's try that one more time. So raising the arms up, all the way up over the head, letting them go, letting them open out behind you, and come to straight. Drawing them to the center, and all the way down. Good. And straightening the legs, and give them a little shake. Well done if you managed to stay in the squat all the way through there. It's always a challenge, at least it is for me. From here, once again, bending those knees. And this time, let's just allow this right hand to move towards the floor and the left hand to come upwards. Don't worry where you are. So up here is fine. Wherever you are is perfect. Just listen to your body. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Allowing the gaze to go towards the ceiling if you can. And coming upright, let's just take that to the other side. Again, wherever works. Here with your arm on the elbow or the hand down. Good, 1 more breath. And coming all the way up and straightening those legs once again, just letting those shoulders loosen out. And once again, bending those knees, coming into your squat. And this time just drawing your right shoulder so it's pointing towards your left knee. Turning the gaze. And let's take that to the other side. And over. And switch sides. And switch sides. And again. And 1 more time on each side. Good. And coming all the way up. Once more. Good. Let's take it to the top of the mat. And from here, with our feet together, let's bring the hands together, clasping together like we did. Drawing them up in front of you, allowing them to come out and up, clasping them together. Let's take a little bend to the left. And back through center. And a little bend to the right. And back through center. And let's just take a little back bend by raising that gaze. And to the center. We're going to step our left foot back and come to a wide stance on the mat, just like we were in, with our toes pointing towards the corners of the mat. Hands out. Good. And from here, bending the knees. Good. And coming up straight. Let's turn this left foot to the back of the mat and turn the right foot inward. So we're gazing this way. And here you've got a choice. You can keep your left leg straight or you can bend your knee. So let's start with the knee bent, and we're just going to windmill down into a triangle. Again, here it's not about how deep you go. Fine to have your hand on your leg, whatever's working for you. What you want to check here is that you've got a nice long stretch from the back of your foot all the way up. Good. If you want a little more challenge, you can straighten that left leg. Good. And from here, following that back hand coming up tall, letting the hands come down, putting the hands onto the hips, we're going to step this left foot across and turn that back foot. So our hips are square as we come forward into a forward fold over this leg. Again, very much up to you whether you want to have that leg bent or straighten it. Listen to your body and go with what works. Lovely. With your hands on the floor, we're going to just come down onto the right knee and rise up into our low lunge. Hands down. We're going to step this right foot up beside the left, so we're in a squat. And again, don't worry where you are. Here is fine, wherever works. Hands down. We're going to step that left foot back, straighten the right foot.
And come into your low lunge.
Hands down either side of the foot as we step up into our forward fold over this leg. Again, keep the knee bent if you want to. Listen to your body. Work with your body. And from here, rising up, hands on the hips. We're going to step this left foot across so it's in, the heels are in a straight line. And that means our hips can open here, open out the arms. And let's just come down into a triangle on this side again, having your knee as bent or as straight as you want. If it's straight, just ensure you've got a little micro bend in that knee. We don't want it locked out. Good, and bend the knee as you come all the way up, turning this left foot out towards the outer edges of the mat. Arms out. Good. Let's bend down into a squat and raise the arms up, keeping that chest open. Straightening the legs, hands on the hips, coming to the top of the mat, raising the arms up and bringing them down to prayer. That was a big long flow. Will we try it again? From here, let's clasp the hands, raise them up in front of us and open them out wide. Nice open chest here. Let's take a breath here. Check in with yourselves. Are your feet in a straight line? Tick. Yes, good. Equal weight on both feet. Shoulders over hips. Congratulate yourself. Well done. Let's raise the arms up and clasp the hands together. And from here, taking a little bend to the left and taking a breath into that right lung. Coming up straight, take a breath. And going to the right, take a breath. Breathing into that left lung. And coming up to center, just drawing an arc with the nose to bring a little back bend in. And up to center. Bringing those arms out. Let's step it wide on the mat. Toes pointing to the opposite corners. Hands out. Let's bring a smile onto our faces. And bend the knees. Good. Let's bring the arms into cactus arms. Open out that chest. And as we exhale, lifting that pelvic floor, bring the belly button in and up. Good. And straighten the knees, turning this left foot out. Arms straight out to either side and turn that right foot inwards. So your heels are in a straight line here. And from here, we're going to go into our triangle. Remember, bend this left knee as much as you need to as we swing down into a triangle. Lovely. Watching this right hand as it comes down, you come up. And putting your hands onto your hips, let's just step it across. So both feet are facing forward. Square up the hips. Good, and we're going to bend forward from the hips into our forward fold over this front leg. So again, you can keep this left leg as bent or as straight as your body suggests. And let's take a breath. With your hands on the floor, stepping that right foot back into a low lunge as we rise up. And hands down. Turning that left foot out slightly. We're going to step that right foot up. Wherever you are is fine. In your squat, it's your version of your squat. Keeping the spine long. Bringing both hands down. Let's just straighten that right foot and step the left leg back as we rise up into our low lunge on this side. Good. And hands down either side of the foot. We're going to step up into our forward fold over this leg again, keeping that front knee as bent as you need to, or indeed as straight as you want to, without locking the knee, always keeping a little micro bend in that knee. Those of you that are hyper mobile, that can almost set your knee backwards, will find it probably quite challenging to keep a little micro bend in the knee. It'll make your muscles work a lot harder and take that pressure off your joints. Good. From here, we want to step this left foot across so our heels are in line with each other. And we're going to come into our triangle on this side. So again, bend that right knee as much as you need to, reaching forward, windmilling down into your triangle, allowing that gaze to raise up to the ceiling. And following the hand, the back hand as you come all the way up, turning both feet out so they're facing the far corners of the mat. And we'll bend our knees into our squat, bringing the hands into our goddess. Hands here for our goddess pose, keeping that chest nice and open. Equal weight on both feet. Good. And coming up to straight. Hands out. Bringing the hands onto the hips and coming all the way to the top of the mat as we bring our hands up and all the way into prayer. Well done. And from here, arms up, sweeping down into our forward fold. And from here, making our way all the way down onto our knees and all the way down to sitting. Opening out those legs nice and wide. All your standing work is done. You'll be glad to hear. Well done on getting this far. Congratulate yourself. You did good. And from here, let's just think about allowing ourselves to let our shoulder fall towards our left knee. And maybe bring your right arm over, only if it's comfortable. Keeping that chest nice and open, so it doesn't matter where you are here. Up here is fine. You can have those knees slightly bent if you want to. Listen to your body. It's your body you're working with. And coming all the way up. Let's take that to the other side. Good. One more breath. And coming up to center, let's just walk it out to a point of comfort. Keeping that spine nice and long. Bringing a little stretch into the inside thighs. You've done a lot of work on your quads, a lot of work on your hamstrings and on your hips. Let's just get a little stretch into this inside of your thigh here. And walking your way all the way back as we swing around and come onto your back. Having your knees bent, feet about shoulder width apart or hip distance apart. Equal weight on both feet. And we're going to rise up into a bridge here. And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. Remembering to engage your core here by lifting your pelvic floor. Bring that belly button in and up, the sides of the waist in. And slowly letting yourself lower to the earth. Hugging those knees into the chest. Just massaging your back, whatever way it suggests. And then letting those feet drift to the floor once again as we rise up into our bridge. And from here, lifting your left leg up, just allowing that leg to cross over onto your right thigh, keeping those hips up, keeping that left foot flexed. One more breath. And letting the left foot come down and lowering yourself all the way down, hugging those knees into the chest. And once again, letting the feet come down to the mat. Lifting yourself up into your bridge. And lifting that right foot up. Letting it come across the thigh of the left foot. Only if it feels right. Flexing that foot. Let's stay here for 3. Again, lifting the pelvic floor, bring the belly button in and up. Notice how when you engage your core, it just helps to bring stability. It helps you in the pose. And letting that right foot come down, lowering yourself all the way down and hugging those knees into the chest once more. Letting again those feet come to the earth, rolling over to your side and arm over, so you're lying on your tummy. As I just get that out of the way. Lying all the way out, nice and long. Forehead on the floor. Arms out long. Legs out long, enjoying this nice stretch. And lifting up your right leg and bringing it down. And lifting up the left leg and bringing it down. And lifting up the right leg and lifting up the left arm and bringing it down. And other side, left arm, right, no, left leg, right arm, and bringing it down. Let's alternate those. And coming to stillness here. Bending that right knee. Bring those hands to either side of your chest, letting those elbows come back and inwards. And lift up the left leg, putting it onto the foot of the right leg. Keeping the forehead on the mat. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And letting it come down to the earth. Lifting up into a cobra here. So you're really engaging your core to lift up here, keeping the gaze on the mat in front of you. allowing the forehead to come back to the earth, bending the left knee so the left foot is upwards, lifting that right leg up, letting it rest on that left foot. Taking 3 breaths here. Good, and letting those legs come back down onto the mat. Once again, lifting up into your cobra. Keeping that core engaged and lowering down. Good, and rolling over onto your back. Once more. And from here, letting your legs fall over to the left. Opening your arms out, letting your gaze turn to the right. And you might want to have your legs out straight here if that feels good. Just scanning your body to see how it feels. Checking everywhere that feels good. And bending those knees. Just coming through center and taking it over to the other side. And again, scanning the body. What feels good? Do the hands feel good? Do the arms feel good? Do the shoulders feel good? And brushing over what doesn't feel quite so good. And focusing on what's good. Where is there no tightness, no tension? And again, bending those knees if the legs are straight, coming back into center, bringing those arms down by your sides and palms facing upwards. And letting the legs come out long as you prepare for your final resting pose of Shavasana. Thank you so much for joining me this evening or whatever time or day you're joining me at. I hope you enjoyed that. We did a lot of freeing up of the neck and shoulders and upper back, and then a lot of strong work on the upper legs and hips to open them out and bring some strength there. So I hope you enjoyed that and got something from it. And I'll bid you at this point, namaste, as we prepare for your final part of this yoga practice, where you allow your body to absorb all of that work and you allow your mind to be calm and still, giving yourself permission to let go, letting go your toes and the soles of your feet, the tops of your feet, letting go your ankles, shins, calves, fronts of your knees, backs of your knees, fronts of your thighs, backs of your thighs, letting go your glutes and your whole pelvic area. Letting go your lower back, letting go your mid-back and back of your rib cage, your upper back and shoulder blades, the whole of your back. Just let it go. Letting go your chest, your belly, your whole pelvic area. Just let it go. Letting go your fingers and the palms of your hands, the backs of your hands, your wrists, forearms, elbows, upper arms, armpits, the whole of your arms. Just let it go. Letting go the back of your head, the crown of your head, your forehead, eyebrows, eyes, cheeks, jaws, chin, lips and tongue. Just let it all go. And with your attention on your breath, just notice yourself breathing in through your nose, into your belly, and out through your nose. And as you observe your breath, think about all the positive things in your life. And allowing your gaze to fall to your heart center. Imagining as you're inhaling that all that positive energy that you've created just sparks a little light in your heart center. And as you inhale, that light grows brighter. And as you exhale, that positive energy spreads outward. Breathing in, brightening the light of positive energy. Exhaling, letting that light spread.